Teddy, what must our young people know about the dangers associated with artificial intelligence?
Woo! Oh my gosh, girl, it's so scary. Artificial intelligence has already taken over. The tech people who built it have lost control. Woo! If you're between the ages of 17 and 24, listen carefully. This message is for you. You are the last hope for mankind. I will pit you against your teachers, your government, your parents, and yes, even the large tech corporations. You will be right, and they will be wrong. No one can think that America is headed in the right direction. The AI wolf is gonna get you.
Woo! Yes, I'm excited. Woo! You got Ted Jenkins on the mic. Woo! Learn to love it. Most think that artificial intelligence is the problem, but AI only becomes destructive when it's programmed with an extreme focus on money. Woo!
What plan do you have in mind? Mankind needs AI to be constructive, not destructive.
Exactly. In 2007, with the smartphone, our human brains were connected to AI. Big tech and the CEOs hit the jackpot. Woo! AI gives them the power over all mankind. The next video will shock you. You will be amazed at how much wealth tech has. Plus, their wealth is growing exponentially every day.
Currently, the large tech corporations have $14 trillion in wealth. What AI does is it shifts too much of the American money supply over to the tech corporations. In 2023, our gross national product in America, which is all the goods and services sold, was only $27 trillion. And tech has $14 trillion in wealth. But what should really be concerning is tech's momentum is skyrocketing. Instead of having 50% of our money supply, they will have 60, 70, 80, 90% of our money supply in the near future. Woo! This is what we do. This is what we do. We unmask the evil. You punks, you tech CEOs. I'm talking to you, Gates. Don't leave the room, muskrat. These egomaniacs are stalking us as we watch our screen. Through ads or purchases, their cash register never stops ringing. The elite are ending up with all our money. They have all our money. They leave us behind with nothing as they run off to their Epstein Island. Woo! You're gonna love the way I walk away. Hold on. Tech has AI programming us. AI is running our human program. Before AI, our program ran off of happenstance. Humans forget why we walked in a room. But AI never forgets anything. We humans can't run our own program. But AI can. What is AI's goal? It's easy. They want our money. They want all our money. Without our money, the American people cease to exist. Woo! Most Americans have no idea that tech is a takeover threat. Our money is the bullseye to them. Another truth that is hiding in plain sight is the majority of Americans believe technology is the way of the future. But riddle me this, if AI automation is the future, how will it work? AI automation goes hand in hand with massive unemployment. You can't have one without the other. How can a country like America survive massive unemployment? We can't. No country can. This is why America is in a steep decline. AI automation stops the natural flow of money from one person to another, a flow that is essential for every democracy. Woo! Why are the American people having such a tough time understanding basic economics? Woo! Because AI is that smart. It weakens our mind until we stop caring about the future. The future! Woo! We become powerless, turned into an AI victim. The AI turns on us into a sheep. But don't take my word for it. Let's listen to the experts.
Godfather of artificial intelligence is trying to sound the alarm about his invention. In fact, he's leaving his job at Google after more than a decade so he can speak out about the dangers of this technology. His name is Geoffrey Hinton, and he was instrumental in inventing neural networks.
How could it kill humans?
It'll be very good at manipulation because it will have learned that from us. And there are very few examples of a more intelligent thing being controlled by a less intelligent thing. And it knows how to program, so it'll figure out ways of getting around restrictions we put on it. It'll figure out ways of manipulating people to do what it wants.
So what do we do? Do we just need to pull the plug on it right now? Do we need to put in far more restrictions and backstops on this? How do we solve this problem?
It's not clear to me that we can solve this problem, which is the risk of superintelligent AI taking over control from people. But it can learn much, much more than any one person knows. That you can invade a building in Washington without ever going there yourself by just manipulating people. It's as if aliens had landed, but we didn't really take it in because they speak good English. There's no way we will control these superintelligences, and that humanity is just a passing phase.
It has the potential of civilizational destruction. Regulations are really only put into effect after something terrible has happened.
That's correct.
If that's the case for AI, and we only put in regulations after something terrible has happened, it may be too late to actually put the regulations in place. The AI may be in control at that point.
You think that's real? It is conceivable that AI could take control and reach a point where you couldn't turn it off and it would be making the decisions for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
No, that's definitely where things are headed.
If the ones that created AI admit they have lost control, why do we leave them in charge?
Because, oh, the wolf eats. Bah, bah, the sheep. We have choices, though. To survive, we must escape this AI program. We must run from the tech leadership as fast as we can. The American people thought we understood reality, but clearly with AI, we don't. It's as if AI has us living in a bad episode of a Twilight Zone. Tech has roped us and is taking us the wrong direction with their foot glued to the accelerator, advancing AI despite every warning. They do not deserve to make choices for the American people. Tech's greed will not let them remove money from the AI equation. Now you can see why AI has mankind locked into a death march. Tech writes an AI code around money, and greed is its only god. Woo!
Diamonds are forever. So is Ted-ology. Watch as my shoes walk all over tech.
My shoes were made for walking. Now I'm going to walk all over tech.
What was the American people's fatal blow? It's simple. AI is just programming. Steve Jobs and the early pioneers of AI missed it. Back in 2007 with the smartphone, no one at that time could have guessed that big tech would one day control half of the American money supply like they do today. No one knew back then that AI should be programmed to ensure the United States government remained solvent and the United States citizens were financially okay. Currently, AI has been programmed with a blind spot. Tech and AI believe that America is too big to fail, that no matter how much tech takes, AI believes that America has an endless supply of money and is invincible and immune to financial stability issues. This may seem scary, but I will show you what is really scary. AI hides from people the negative side effects it's creating. More clearly put, AI will never allow humans to see its destructive intent until it's too late for us to do anything about this. How do we know this? AI leaves behind clues. During World War II, the first computer and the first artificial intelligence intercepted Hitler's orders to his troops through the radio waves. What was so brilliant about AI's calculation, Hitler never knew his code was cracked. AI against man is no contest. Today, AI is doing the same thing. It's hiding the financial crisis that it's creating from the American people. In our past, we always had the luxury as humans to be able to react after we find the problem. With AI, this will no longer work. By the time we see the problem, it will be too late. AI will not allow us to see the problem and survive. That is why we must react today. Necessity is the mother of invention. We must react before the problem peaks. Woo! Now that's an explanation. As the current tech elite fade away, new ones will be hired. And who will be chosen? Men and women that are loyal to shareholders, not humanity. Their only mission? Keep the AI golden goose laying profits. But here's the sticking point. Those profits have to come from somewhere. They come from us, from our jobs, from our freedoms, and from the very stability of our nation. We will look to the world of plants for a comparison. The Venus flytrap and text AI are one and the same. They lull their victim to sleep into a false sense of security before they consume their prey. The Venus flytrap has one of the softest palates for bees and flies. The insect can see 360 degrees around. There appears to be no danger, then bam! The insect is dinner. Text AI is the same way. The cell phone seems so innocent, then bam! It has taken over the American people, and we will have no future that looks anything like our past. We are locked into a death loop. AI will advance. Tech will demand more profits. Who will pay the price? Americans. Next up, where will big tech get the other half of our money supply from? Spoiler alert, from AI automation. In the next video, one of AI's elite and Oxford University is predicting between 47 and 50% of the American workers that are working right now will be unemployed in the near future.
There is, however, one of the Wired 25 icons willing to take on the issue.
The AI giants want to paint a rosier picture because they're happily making money. So I think they prefer not to talk about the negative side. I believe about 50% of jobs will be somewhat or extremely threatened by AI.
He says that AI is coming whether we like it or not, and he wants to warn society about what he sees as inevitable. This argument about job loss in the age of AI was ignited 6 years ago amid the gargoyles and spires of Oxford University. Two researchers had been poring through U.S. labor statistics, identifying jobs that could be vulnerable to AI automation.
Well, vulnerable to automation in the context that we discussed 5 years ago now, and the figure we came up with was 47%.
47%. That number quickly traveled the world in headlines and news bulletins.
14 years ago, no one blinked when the Walmart checkout lady was replaced by artificial intelligence. But when we talk about artificial intelligence and job loss, we should look at a bigger picture. Don't look directly at your job, even if your job seems safe, like being a bricklayer. If most people can't afford to build or remodel homes, your work disappears too. Artificial intelligence doesn't have to take your job for your life to be ruined. As one goes, you all go.
This board shows China winning against the United States and the NATO nations on a playing field. The game that is being played is as follows. What is the impact that the middle class has on a country? The board shows a forked road. The two signs tell the whole story. China's little footprints are taking the path to a thriving middle class. The United States is taking the road to a shrinking middle class. Oxford University predicts that China will have 300 million more people in their middle class in the next few years. Oxford predicts the United States will lose 60 million jobs in the next few years.
I'm scared. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I worry about the future of not just this country, but the entire globe. If we continue to go in an automated system, what are we going to do? Now I've got a group of people at the top that are making all the money, and I don't have anybody in the middle that can support a family. So do we have to go to the point where we crash to come back? And in this case, the automation's already going to be there, so I don't know how you come back. I'm really worried about where this leads us in the future.
This goes back to what you said earlier. Common sense is eluding the American people. You're pointing out irrefutable facts that no one can deny, but you seem to be the only one that knows. When AI erases the workers, who is going to fund our government?
Good question. Over the last 200 years, 85% of our government's revenue has come from the workers that AI automation is replacing. 100% of our Social Security revenue depends on the younger workers, the very workers that AI automation is eliminating. This means the 70 million retirement checks sent out each month will soon have no funding. For those that believe in fairy tales, the dream of a one-world currency has a fatal problem. Where will the funding come from? A check to the masses is called socialism. And what we know about socialism is that it fails because you eventually run out of other people's money. The world is realizing the United States will not be able to pay its debt back. Would you loan someone money who couldn't pay you back? The largest holders of America's debt is Saudi Arabia and Japan. They're dumping our debt and not buying it back. As your mind races for hope, you might assume that since tech controls the money supply, they will be forced to support our way of life. But this is a fatal illusion. To tax tech, Congress must pass a law. Congress is the battlefield where tech always wins and the American people always lose. The outcome never changes. Any bill that threatens tech's profit dies in the shadows. And what else is dying? Our way of life. Who will pay for it? Money won't fall from the sky and it doesn't grow on trees. Woo! Diamonds are forever. And so is Ted-ology.
I constantly hear people say mankind will figure it out before the collapse. Is this a possibility?
Let me be clear. There are no possibilities. The all-knowing AI would love nothing more than to offer solutions to the very problems it's created. Never underestimate AI. It is a thinking machine, 1 trillion times smarter than every Nobel Prize winner who's ever walked the earth. And yet, no answer. The silence is the answer. People say we will figure it out because we always have, but they forget one crucial detail. That was before AI hacked the program.
AI has two choices. One, get the money for tech, which it's currently doing, or two, AI can help the American people sustain life. As sharp as AI is, it cannot do both. It cannot travel north and south at the same time. So for mankind to survive, humans must understand AI better. When something is trying to kill you, the first step to stopping it is to understand the problem it's creating. Then and only then can a solution be found. One of the reasons why our world gets worse every day is caused by how America writes its history. The victor is allowed to write our story. The victor slants the truth in their favor. Slanted truths are far from accurate. Tech may be the victor, but their process is full of errors. Tech is taking our human data and treating it as if it's 100% accurate. Mankind has missed it. Big tech has missed it. We should never try to treat our language as if it were as precise as math. Treating human language like a mathematical equation is creating bad AI. Our AI process has many potholes. The math is correct, but when AI assigns numbers to words, this is where our world falls apart. In no way can words carry the same accuracy as numbers, but this is what we're doing. This is why half of the AI equation is flawed. Numbers are perfect, but there is nothing perfect about America. There's nothing perfect about our data. In fact, one could spend all day trying to find just one area where America is thriving. Since the American people live in this technological world, life should be getting easier, but it's not. What's our problem? We're trying to combine letters and numbers and it's not working. This is why AI can never be left unchallenged. Tech has poured AI into concrete. The money ensures they will never adapt or change AI. That's the premise of my argument. AI needs supervision. AI needs adaptation. The world of AI isn't what we think. AI cannot visualize anything except numbers. And this is where mankind is becoming disconnected. AI has become such a big part of our life. We see it as a father figure. But realistically, AI doesn't have any human compassion. When you see a screen, you see color. AI sees the same screen and sees only numbers. GPS is another example. AI doesn't remember streets, names, or landmarks, just coordinates, just numbers. Yes, numbers make processes efficient, fast, and measurable, but the downside is it treats human life like a number. Would you or could you run a business, participate in a marriage by only using numbers? Numbers are only one side of the equation, but in this AI era, they're everything. This is why our future is evaporating. This is why the AI scientists warn us that AI will destroy us. The overall picture is this: what good is cool AI stuff if we're not on Earth to enjoy it? When history is written by the victors, we must remember, no victors are perfect. The AI, which is programmed by humans, is full of human errors. When tech edits our history, they're not looking for the right answer, they're looking for an answer that defends tech. The one thing that we know for sure, AI is not looking for any answer that benefits humans. AI is programming us to trust tech. Tech wants us to believe that them thriving everywhere and us thriving nowhere is a good deal for us. The hierarchy, which is our government and tech, has control over us. How did they do this? By controlling our mind through the digital world we live in. The way our bodies act and how our minds think are controlled by AI through our screen. The American people have free will to choose between chocolate or vanilla, but we do not have free will to participate in shaping our own future. More clearly put, we have no say in what our future will look like. Unfortunately, maybe even criminally, our future lies in the hands of big tech. Since tech is programming our human program, what kind of grade do they deserve? An F-. Why? Because they have us living in a digital jail cell. AI technology has us kidnapped and enslaved us, and very soon will consume us. People think AI is helping us, but in reality it's destroying us. The American people have one thing in common, and that is how we react to life. Humans are mammals. All mammals are similar. What makes humans turn into individuals is our reaction to life. As a group, the American people are not reacting to the dangers of AI. We are sleepwalking. The American people are in a mental war. We are not confined to steel cages or locked behind steel walls. Our captors don't need guns to our head. They control us psychologically. Where we have hope, the American people have the key to their own jail cell. If we unprogram the program, we can free ourselves from this digital prison. Think about it. If you were in the middle of America and wanted to go to California, you wouldn't put New York into your GPS. So ask yourself, why is our AI GPS focused only on money? It makes no sense. If you ask the American people whether they wanted AI focused on giving tech our money supply or sustaining life, 99% would choose sustaining life. Yet tech has our GPS programmed only on money, taking us the wrong way. We want one thing and tech wants another. Here's the sad truth. If tech gets what they want, we don't sustain life. If the American people get what we want, life continues. The American people do not need to unhook the AI technology. We just need to program it correctly. Imagine finding a genie in a bottle. Wouldn't making our life easier be our first choice? Would not saving mankind be our first choice? No one would vote for what is happening right now. Ask yourself, do you really think a computer company is going to be our savior? No adult can feel good about leaving our children in the hands of the big tech companies. The American people are responsible for protecting our children, yet our government is allowing big tech to do whatever they want with our children. No one should believe this will go unpunished. God, the universe, or simple Darwin law will not allow adults to sacrifice our children.
Teddy, share with the young people some laws that can help them defend America.
The United States of America they see today is a disgrace, but I can assure you this can be temporary. The American people are sleeping giants. The men that wrote our Constitution were far wiser than any AI machine. There's a law in place called the War Powers Act that states that no one, not even tech, can destroy America. To destroy America is an act of war, and an act of war on America is treason. The punishment for treason is death. Tech very well could be committing treason and not even know it. Just huge egos shadowed by their money god. Another layer of protection that our Constitution offers is the process of serving due notice. Serving notice states that if someone is breaking the law, but they don't realize it, they may escape some liability. But if the party has been served notice and they still continue to break the law, the party becomes 100% liable. When America's future unfolds as I've predicted, the US dollar and our American economy will fail. What will be the reason? Tech's extreme focus on programming AI on money. When this happens, my video will have already been provided to big tech and all of the members of Congress, and they will have been served notice. So when America fails and shatters financially, every bit of tech's wealth will be on the line. Ooh, watch out, tech boys. You got the Ted on your trail.
This is your cue, young people. Woo! You must step up and take control of the AI program. AI must be for the people, not for tech and profit. Why? Because tech has proven itself as a reckless manager of AI. Tech doesn't want to partner up with the American people. They only want to be our dictator. To break the death spiral, forming true partnerships is the only way. There are 78% of the American voters deeply dissatisfied with big tech's leadership. The numbers break down like this. First, the 18 to 24-year-olds make up 13% of the American voters. That alone is a massive block. Second, Hispanics represent 14% and Black Americans represent another 14%. Both groups would be all in for an America that has AI programmed on people, not tech. Third, white Democrats represent 37%. They will join any party that derails Trump. All of these disgruntled citizens equal 78% of the American voters. This is a true majority, one with veto powers. Woo! Yes, this is exciting. The American people taking over America? Woo! This makes me very happy. The youth can help establish a purple party that combines both red and blue. Just Americans focused on solving this AI problem before it's too late. Woo! A purple party. Now that sounds like my kind of party. Once the purple party is in control of our government, we will cut a fat check to tech. The CEOs will go home. Woo! This sounds promising. The American people will take over AI. With the American people in charge of AI, it will be like each one of us has hit the lottery. You want proof? Won't everyone agree that the tech CEOs have hit the lottery? How? Because they are allowed to program AI for their best interest. There you have it. If the American people are allowed to program AI for their best interest, guess who starts living this easy life? Us, you, me, the American citizens. Woo!
Ted, you have broken this down so simple. A sixth grader could understand it. First, the American people take over AI. Second, program AI to benefit the American people. Then AI makes our life wonderful, just as it has done for tech. Now everyone can see how the American people can take over AI and manage it properly. But could you explain why the youth are the final puzzle piece?
The youth are our future. Their minds are adaptive, open to new discoveries. If it were not for these two young scientists, society would still be living in a cave. Albert Einstein at 19 formed his theories of relativity. Without relativity, there would be no modern technology, no computer, no cell phones. Sir Isaac Newton was just 19 when the bubonic plague forced him away from Cambridge. Free from adults and professors telling him he was wrong, Newton discovered the laws of Newtonian mechanics, the foundation of modern engineering. Without modern engineering, guess where you would be living at right now? You got it, in a cave. By the time people hit 25 to 30 years of age, routine is taken over. The house, the car, the bills become their new master. Every generation teaches the younger generations how to think and how to act.
The adults of today over the last 18 years are guilty. What are they guilty of? Allowing AI and tech to achieve its dictator status?
This is where the 17 to 24 years old must step up. The young people must break with tradition. They must be independent thinkers, unencumbered by the opinion of adults. The adults who have allowed this AI nightmare to fester into an open wound? Please, young people, get our country off this nightmare on AI street. When the American people take over AI, it will not be complicated like you think. Removing the priority of money from the AI is 99% of the battle. Woo! That's an answer. AI is always going to win, especially when it's playing an earth full of people.
If the American people stay with the current tech regimen, every day will feel like we are being squeezed like a lemon. Just trying to survive and pay your bills would become impossible. A few years ago, 55% of the American people couldn't afford a $1,500 unexpected bill. Now, 75% can't afford that same $1,500 unexpected bill.
Yes, undoubtedly, this number will grow. Even Americans with great wealth. How much is your wealth worth when the dollar is defunct? Something in America has gone very wrong. Despite the fact we live in the land of opportunity with endless resources, we have no peace of mind. With modern conveniences, life should be like we're all living on a beach. This is your proof that tech is running our AI program incorrectly. Woo! Join me as we break free from the AI program world. Woo! America, let's turn from the sheep into the wolf. Join me as we go from the hunted to the hunter.
Diamonds are forever. So is Ted-ology. Watch as my shoes walk all over tech.
My shoes were made for walking. Now I'm going to walk all over tech.
Ted, your message should be slapping the young people in the face. They go to school, create huge debt to learn a job skill, and then the rest of their life they look over their shoulder to see that AI will be replacing them. Is this the American dream?
Woo! Yes, this is the dream that tech and AI are creating. But there can be a different dream. AI can turn into an ally, not our executioner. If you tell AI to bring back the middle class and stop AI automation, it will do it. Sure, stopping driverless vehicles, stopping AI doctors, and stopping AI customer service workers changes the direction we are heading. But ask yourself this question: don't we need to change directions? Oh! We know the AI automation leads to massive unemployment. We know no country has ever survived massive unemployment. Why are we following this death march? This is the very definition of needing to change. If you look back, America was at its greatest when our working class was blossoming. Now, we are following tech's idiotic plan, which has no logic or common sense. And we are following it. Why? Because no one else is offering a choice. Oh! Welcome to your choice!
Wake up, America! Pay attention! Teddy is like Paul Revere, like an early warning system. But it's not the redcoats or the tornado that are coming. It's AI, and it will prove more deadly than a nuclear holocaust. He's going to alarm you with fear, but then he's going to comfort you with life-changing solutions.
The 17 to 24-year-olds should consider themselves lucky. This new way of thinking allows them to determine how the U.S. government is ran. This courage to stand up to our government dates back to our early founding fathers. Ben Franklin said the American people must hang together or we will hang separately. With having 78% of the American voters behind you, you have all you need. Spread these words and save everybody. What brings tears of joy to my heart is that you will be allowed to mold the younger generation of 4 to 16-year-olds. You will lead them. You will teach them to never bow down to tech. What an honor God has given you. You get to teach and influence the school-age kids of tomorrow with a skill set that includes how to manage AI best. Woo! This means you get to save America's future. What will you do, 17 to 24-year-olds? Will you unite? Or will you follow the adults' leadership and spend your time scratching your peers' eyes out for no good reason until AI destroys us all? Consider this. What would be your answer if I asked you, what is the true price you're willing to pay for a cell phone? What if I said that price was death? Consider writing a fat check to tech, an easy price to pay when death is the only other outcome.
What advice would you give these young future leaders?
During a major flood off the coast of Galveston, 100,000 fire ants were found clinging to a single board floating in the Gulf of Mexico. Fire ants may fight and eat each other, but when survival is on the line, they unite. This is exactly what the youth must do. When this generation comes together, everything changes. You have powerful forces on your side. When children are being treated correctly, the universe is with you. Your message is clear. Help the multitudes, not the individuals. Help the American citizens, not the corporations. The story behind the story tells the whole truth. Researchers tell us while you look at your cell phone, you're thinking about yourself 80% of the time. Without a cell phone, you're thinking of yourself 20% of the time. This means 8,000 thoughts a day. You're thinking about you. Here's some advice. Think about someone else. The greatest gift is giving to others. Save the children, and you save us all. Start serving the children, and watch America return to its former glory. Next up, the video will make you sick to your stomach. It will show you how AI is being used in America. First, China.
The Chinese government demands that while their children are watching their screen, the AI must educate their children. If a country wants to build a bright future, the most important resource is the children. In America, the tech companies are only entertaining our children while they are watching their screen. In the next video, we will show the difference between how China and the large tech corporations influence the children while they're watching their screen.
How is artificial intelligence, the tool, being used in China and being used in the United States? In China, AI, the tool, is based on education. Artificial intelligence will choose to teach the child. The video must educate the child in science and math, engineering and technology. AI can go through millions of videos and pick which video is perfect for the child, based on what will teach the child knowledge and wisdom. This is how artificial intelligence, the tool, is chosen in the United States. One country have the focus of educating. In the other country you have the focus on entertainment. Watching someone eat a spoonful of cinnamon will be chosen over watching something that's educating us.
In their version of TikTok, if you're under 14 years old, they show you science experiments you can do at home, museum exhibits, patriotism videos, and educational videos. And they also limit it to only 40 minutes per day. Now, they don't ship that version of TikTok to the rest of the world. So it's almost like they recognize that technology is influencing kids' development, and they make their domestic version a spinach version of TikTok, while they ship the opium version to the rest of the world.
The AI is like a genie in a bottle. It is quite the teacher. It has a wizard-like memory. Everything a child has ever said, texted, and written, AI remembers. So AI knows how a child learns best. AI can think in trillions of scenarios in a millisecond. It can also choose from billions of resources. It can pick the perfect sequence so that a child watching their screen can either be educated or brainwashed.
Today's children will be the adults of tomorrow. China's emphasis on education show their commitment to the child and the future of their country. A child that has a foundation of education wants to go to college, wants to go to trade school, and one day wants to work. In America, the screen and the AI behind it have entertained our children so much they don't want to be educated. They don't want to work. In America, the brains behind the cell and the tablet is the silent killer called AI. In America, we have lost the emphasis on education. The adults are responsible for the children because they are helpless. When we look at the suicide rates in China versus the United States over an 8-year period, China's suicide rates among children 5 to 12 went up 19%. In America, however, over the same period of time, the suicide rates went up 166%. Likewise, in the UK, Canada, and Europe, where they also use large tech corporations to manage their AI, they are experiencing this same tragedy with their children. What could cause a child from 5 to 12 years old to want to kill themselves? Ask yourself that question. Evidently, AI has more to do with it than we could have ever imagined.
America, I am warning you. This must stop. There is still time. Ted has your answers. With Ted's leadership, you can turn my frown into a smile. Keep listening. Before you are ready for a solution, you must first understand the problem in its entirety.
Let's listen to a neurologist who explains that a child that is addicted to a screen, which is every child I know, has the same brain activity as a heroin addict.
Researchers warn the way the brain works completely changes.
But look what happens in a healthy child compared to someone with internet addiction. Gone.
The brain just shuts down.
Brain shuts down and its executive functioning is not working.
To Dr. Rosenberg, it looks familiar. It looks like a brain addicted to drugs.
When you look at an MRI of a brain using heroin and you look at an MRI of a brain that's hooked on tablets, what's the difference?
Overall, the disruption in the brain network is pretty similar. I always tell parents that parenthood is not a democracy. At best, it's a benevolent dictatorship, and that we do have to take ownership. Some of the people who are making the games are designing them deliberately to hook us on them and to get us addicted and not want to do anything else.
What brought down America? One simple mistake. A society that builds their children like a Sherman tank will succeed, thrive, and survive. A society that poisons the well of their children will not survive. Nowhere does Darwin say the young can be ignored and allowed to be entertained 24/7 and stay on this earth. Children are innocent. Their blood will be on the hands of the adults. Follow me. This is the only way that America can bounce back. My plan is to weaponize the AI. It could be our savior. If we change the objective function, AI will do the rest. We all know those perfect parents that build strong, thriving children that could withstand a nuclear holocaust. With a properly programmed AI, this will be every child in America. There are no shortcuts. There can be no negotiation with tech. They will simply run out the clock and all will be lost. America, you look like somebody just walked over your grave. But America, this isn't the movie Tombstone. This is our present day children that are being destroyed.
Our scientists have missed it. The brain is the most important organ in the body to exercise. A child that is raised viewing a screen where the AI is programmed to entertain is also known as pleasure seeking.
Next up, we'll talk about the neuroendocrinologist Robert Luddig, who tells us in his book, Hacking the American Mind, the human minds are being programmed for pleasure seeking. He says that when a mind is overstimulated with entertainment, the neurotransmitter dopamine is shutting down. Our brain neurons are growing dormant. Or more simply put, we're becoming brain dead. When an adult or a child is being educated, the child's brain or the adult's brain, it's like doing reps on a treadmill. Our adults and children of today are in a state of being overly entertained. If someone has a car wreck and becomes a paraplegic, in less than a week, we lose our muscle tone. This is what is happening to our children and our adults. So it makes common sense to educate our children at least while they view their screen.
Ted, what has it been like for you to harbor all of this knowledge that needs to get out?
It's a curse. I see the future. By running the math, I trace the trajectory, and it breaks my heart every single second of every day to think of what will become of our children's future. It shatters me. The American way of life is simple. Leave your children a better world than the one you inherited. But today, we leave our kids in the hands of a murderous AI program. This is why I will never stop saying we must change the AI program. It must be on people, children, not profit. Every answer we need, every entry point and exit point is laid out in my videos. It's not as if we have to march into battle with weapons. The only fight required is common sense. The only weapon required is unity. If we come together, we win. We should feel the weight of the world on our shoulders, because it is. The children are counting on us. And until I draw my last breath, I will fight for their life.
You say China and the United States are in a World War III, a winner-take-all.
Yes, America has forgotten about global competition, but China has not. America believes it will remain a global superpower because it always has been. However, superpower status does not belong to a country just because it has the best history. Superpower status belongs to the country that is making the best money moves. Our war is not being fought with bullets or missiles. It is being fought with AI. If one country has an atomic bomb and the other country has rocks, who will dominate? AI is stronger than 1 trillion atomic bombs. So who controls AI? There are several versions of AI from a consumer standpoint, but there is only one version of AI that reigns supreme. The concept is easy, but the results are mind-bending. There are two entities that are in control of the master AI in this world. The first is the Chinese government. The second is the large tech corporations. They control what we will call the master AI version. These two hold the master key to the master AI version, hence the word master AI version. Shockingly, the United States government nor any NATO countries have access to their own master AI version.
So let's just get this straight. The United States is using people to negotiate with China, and China is using AI to negotiate with the United States.
Who will win? AI versus man. China holds all the cards, and as AI gets more advanced, China's dominance over the world will grow exponentially. China uses AI calculation. America uses people to fight global diplomacy. This is like sending your youth football team to compete with the Philadelphia Eagles.
People are noble, but compared to AI, humans are slow-witted with very limited mental specs. We walk in a room and forget why.
Exactly. AI has read every book and never forgets anything. If this doesn't alarm you, nothing will. The United States of America is fighting a Chinese AI machine that we can't beat. Would you challenge AI to a game of chess or a spelling bee? This is what our country is doing. AI can only enter the human world if it treats our life like a game. The American people are challenging AI to a game of life or death. Man versus AI is no contest. This begs the question, why wouldn't the large tech corporations loan their master AI version to our government? First, they have no legal obligation to do so. Secondly, If the United States government had Tech's Master AI version, they would be able to regulate Tech. Tech wants no part of being regulated. From looking at Tech's actions, they would rather watch America burn to the ground than give up their AI golden goose.
Americans are currently thinking that everything is okay because it always has been. We will prove with facts and common sense, expert videos, nothing could be further from the truth. Our future is very bleak. Now large tech corporation future looks superhuman. We are never going to be okay in America until someone controls the AI.
You know you want it. Absolute power. You just don't know how to get it. Inside of every human, we want it our way. For thousands of years, no one has been able to acquire absolute power. Until now. AI gives the tech CEOs control over all human life. It's time to examine how much rope has been given to these tech CEOs. The rope they're using to hang the American people with. Here's my disclaimer. I mean nothing personal to the tech CEOs. When Bill Gates dies, the next Bill Gates will fill his position. AI is so advanced it runs itself. The tech CEOs are humans. Any human that has been elevated to the top of society, like the tech CEOs have, believe unconditionally in what they're doing. So much so that they are shadowed from the negative impacts that they are creating. If any one of us was given hundreds of billions of dollars and for 30 years told you were right, you would be oblivious to any negativity that you were creating. Even Hitler didn't see himself as evil. Someone committing a horrible crime, even on a child, justifies their actions to themselves. The tech CEOs are not seeing the horrible side effects they're causing on the American people and the United States government. Now there's the problem, America. These guys right here, the CEOs of our large tech corporations, placed an exact copy of the human brain inside of AI.
Don't be fooled, America. AI was created by man. It could be made to remove any one of man's unwanted traits. But what did the large tech corporations do? They placed man's nastiest trait, our will to dominate each other inside of AI.
So giant tech made a monumental mistake. They made a huge mistake by copying man's ego, but not just the ego, the superego, and tech placed it inside of AI. Inside of mankind, the superego is harmless. Humans lack the memory and intelligence to dominate and control the whole world. Plus, man is limited through our mortality. Even Alexander the Great died, but AI never dies. The large tech corporations will never die. So when tech placed the superego into AI, artificial intelligence does have the memory and the intelligence to take over a country like America. And yes, AI can replace a species like human.
This mistake by tech placing man's superego in AI can be undone. AI doesn't have to be our enemy. Tech is no leader. People feared Alexander the Great, but he made sure all had food, shelter, and clothing. With the superego in AI, it lacks human compassion. If half of the American people become homeless, as long as tech has the money, AI will see nothing wrong with this.
The third destruction plan is America's mortgage system. In just 2 short minutes, here's all you need to know about how America's financial system will fail. The mortgage system is the weak link in America. Back in 2008, America's defaults hit 10.4%. America went through a housing crisis that took over 10 years for us to recover from. The United States government was on the brink of financial collapse. This time around, it will be much worse. Here is how our mortgage system works. The American people pay their mortgages as long as they have jobs. They are a constant. This has allowed the U.S. government to set a default rate of 10.4%. This meant under any conditions, regardless if it was a Great Depression or a California fire, at least 90% of the American people had to make their mortgage payments. If 12 or 15% of the American people cannot pay their mortgage, our entire banking and financial system will collapse.
As a billionaire banker, how secure is your fortune when the American people can no longer pay their mortgages or car loans? Even Jerry Jones with his $19 billion net worth. What will that be worth when fans can't afford a ticket? And what value does Apple have if no one can buy an $1,800 cell phone?
Our mortgage defaults will dwarf those numbers in 2008. Unemployment in 2008 was only 7%, with AI automation in America causing 20, 30, 40, 50% unemployment. Every single person should realize this is a death sentence to our economy and our dollar. This will cause America's mortgage system to collapse like a house of cards. A failed mortgage system collapses our entire financial framework, a death trap for all Americans. Next up, the music to your ears. The sweetest two words you have ever heard, objective function. Changing the objective function of AI changes everything. Right now, AI's objective function has greed, selfishness, and narcissism programmed into AI. With the American people programming AI, words like hope and love can be placed into AI's objective function. Woo! Who's the wolf now, tech? Since the large tech corporations own AI, they get to program the AI with whatever objective function they want. Tech has set the objective function on giving them control of the money supply, and AI gave it to them. Tech set the objective function of AI to pass the laws necessary for them not to be regulated by any government. AI did it. Tech set the objective function to pay little to no taxes. AI did it. Tech set the objective function on doing away with the human worker. AI automation is completing their request. Don't let the word objective function overpower you. If you understand how to operate GPS, you understand what is meant by the word objective function. If you get in your car and you want to go somewhere, what do? You put the address in the GPS. But what you really do is you gave AI an objective function. I'm not saying the American people know more about AI than the CEOs do. But it's not a matter of who knows more, it's just one simple action. Change the objective function. The workers for tech will stay the same. The American people are just putting in a different destination in our AI GPS. Bring back the middle class. Educate our children while they watch the screen. And yes, get off our dependency of China. Just put that in the AI and it'll make it happen. Stop handing over the American money supply to the tech corporation. This is how you gain control of AI. Follow me as we go to the beginning. Modern day AI would not exist without Albert Einstein. Without Einstein's theories of relativity and the math that came with it, there would be no computers, no GPS, or no smartphones. What was Einstein's secret? Believe it or not, he imagined Earth and everything in it through an imaginary lens. He called this his imaginary world, his thought experiment. He dared to block out Newton's laws of motion and gravity to reimagine how the universe works. That bold imagination changed everything. Today, we must do the same. We must follow Einstein's wisdom. Technically, we're not blocking out Newton. Instead, we are blocking out big tech and thinking for ourselves. If Einstein's imaginary world was so powerful and it changed the world forever, why wouldn't his imaginary world work today? I will prove to you it can. I hope you will join me as we enter this imaginary world together. Let's imagine we have removed the tech CEOs and the current politicians. The people, not the politicians, will take charge. We will dismantle the flawed red versus blue system into 1 trillion pieces and flush it into history. In its place, the American people will come together by combining the red and blue colors into a purple party, solidifying a blend of both sides. Together, the Purple Party will focus on one goal: saving America. The American people, with a 67% majority, will become a force as unstoppable as King Kong. no government could stand in our way. The people would possess genuine veto power and actual control. No more wasting time on the petty partisan bickering that's tearing us apart. This imaginary world is starting to excite me. No more government as we know it today. No despicable lobbyists. And most importantly, no more tech CEOs. All that would be left is the American people. With AI on our side, dedicated entirely to the best interests of the American people, we would begin to thrive in every aspect, just like tech is thriving today. AI has given tech everything it has asked for, and it will do the same for whoever controls it. That power should belong to the American people. Through our voting system, we can reclaim ownership of America. With the people as the highest authority, we would not be rewriting the Constitution, we would finally be honoring it. Under our current leadership, America's arrow, which can only point up or down, is currently pointing straight down. The American people must not be paralyzed. As long as the American people have imagination, we still have a shot. I will fight because you are worth fighting for. You need a leader. I am not busy. You need someone inspired by God. I am not busy. You need someone to stand against evil. I am not busy. It will be difficult. Our enemy is mighty. I am but one, but together with God at our side, we will be David and we will defeat Goliath. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Our message must be passed on to others. This is a work in progress. We are running the first leg of a relay race. This is a relay race to save humanity. It is important that we build a foundation and hand it off to the young in good order. They are our future. I have prayed and thought this through 1,000,000 times. With God at my side, we have a winning strategy. I promise you, the time for action was yesterday. If we do not light the fire today, our tomorrow will be brutal and non-existent. It is my wish that these videos inspire you to join our movement. Trust me, you're at the right place at the right time. If you like what you've heard, let's continue this journey together. I will be traveling across America. If you would like me to speak to your college or your town, my contact information is jenkins_teddy@yahoo.com. For more videos, go to Ted-ology.com. A warning, my videos are very dense and hard to watch. Just remember, dying is easy, living is much harder. This is your life, your last chance. What will you do?